Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sandy Wilhelmina. Thank you for being here. All of our regular subscribers and new, or if you're just popping by. I wanted to hop on here for a minute and show you the journals that I sold at Patty Lang's Sacred Mementos Artisans Market sale last week on Saturday. I hope you will think about just going over and chatting with everyone, even if you're not able to buy anything, it doesn't matter. Just like with any of my sales, our sales, you just need to go have some fun, get ideas, meet new people. And this one was last Saturday. These journals sold. And I don't know, I just want to look through them one more time before I let them go. Jim is out, Mr. Wilhelmina is out moving hay bales into the pole shed. Our little hay field, well, 20 acres, we didn't get much hay this year. And so we found a guy that we could buy hay from, and he has the coolest trailer. We buy the big round bales, and I don't remember how many pounds they are, but they're big. They're probably almost as tall as me, and I'm 5'9". Um, but anyway, that's a big freaking bale of hay. And that trailer just rolled them right off. And Jim is working now, putting them in the barn with our tractor. Go figure. Never seen anything like that before, and Jim was so excited about it, he could hardly wait. So it's a busy place around here today. And the sheep, of course, are being helpful, like always, by sneaking out of gates. Luckily, they haven't made it out the driveway gate yet because they had to leave it open for the hay guy. Um, Always an adventure. So, this is one of the journals, and I'm I'm so happy at where all of these are going. It's like sending, I swear, it feels like sending a child out into the world, if that doesn't sound ridiculous. Um, okay, this one is going to Nikia, a friend of mine. She's never bought a journal from anyone before. She makes beautiful stuff and has old paper, and you really should check out her sales on Debbie Ham's channel. I'll put links below, or I'll try and remember anyway. I always say that and then I forget. So I did not want to do a permanent bunch of jewelry here, so I clipped it all together. And this little ribbon, you can tie it and untie it or just unpin it. And this is a big one. It is 12 inches by around 5.5. And I know the lighting's not great. It's kind of dark in here. I don't know what I can do about that. That's a little better. Still kind of washed out, but this was one of the old file folders with the tie. So I cut it down, refolded it, all that fun stuff. And this is one of Patty Lang's prints on fabric. And I wanted this to be the whole cover, but it got kind of washed out next to this. So it just took on a life of its own. This is tatting from I need to do some glue. From my friend Jody's mom and grandma. They were seamstresses, and when they passed away, his dad passed away, he had to liquidate the estate, and I got to go through her stash, and there were beautiful things in there. I just am lucky to have it. I don't know how old this button is, but it kind of fit in the princess theme. I don't know if that's really what I was going for, but it looks old and it's cool. These are from that stash. They are appliques from a dress of some sort. They saved everything. So this can come off. This is not part of things here. Whoops, but that one might be. Okay, so this is the opening. It's a vintage pin that lost its way. I think it was a pin. So I just put a bead in the middle And I don't know if you know this, but my favorite color is black. But you couldn't tell on this one, right? So this is another, at least vintage button. And this lady is one of Patty Lang's prints. She sells beautiful prints. Um, they're not they're not digital. They're actual prints that she puts together and designs, and I love them. I never thought I would be using something like that because I really wanted to stay with the old papers. Oh, that was part of it. Well, I picked this lady to be in here because of all the pretty lace she has, and the beading and the jewelry. She must have had a, she must have been a well-to-do young lady. So I just have this clipped in. I clip in a lot of things in my ledgers because I want people to be able to use things how they would like to decorate or to just have or to put in this journal. This is a Russian, I'm not sure what. I had trouble translating it. The best I could find out is it came from a binder full of school project things. This is from 1878. This is a Patty print. She made these beautiful little cards. Well, I cut them into cards. So that's one pocket. And then there's this pocket here. This is all upholstery fabric. These are vintage antique ledger pages. This little bit of ribbon and trim was coffee dyed by my friend Mary. And then I have just some bits and papers. Lawyers back in the 1800s always went around, they rode around on their horse to all the people that owed the estates money when someone passed away and they were working out their will. This is from 1836, I think. And this is one of the notes that was tucked into a lawyer's estate papers. And I just love them. So I'm going to be a big girl now and share things. This is just a cute little card. Little journaling spot. And this is another one. So they wrote these little notes on papers and they turned them all into the estate lawyer. It's kind of funny. It's fun. I've seen those before, and I guess, this journal started out as as I had all kinds of papers sitting around me, and I just didn't have one project for each one. So I just started gluing them together. And I really like how it turned out because it led to this gigantic journal. I have no idea how many pages are in it. I've gotten where I just don't count them. So this little bit of paper is from a lady who did all of her genealogy work before there were computers. And believe me, I've done some of that too. It's a lot of work. So her daughter inherited all these little slips of paper that were her notes. So I bought some from her and I'm using them as collage or whatever. And her daughter says that she would have been very happy to know that somebody was using them. I have a lot of them if you want to have fun too. This is a digital, this is another digital. I like the film part of it. And he's just a little cutie with his red hair. So more ledger paper. This is not vintage, I just like that. This is the castle print is from Patty. And I took out this evening gown in princess style. I think it was in a Godey's book, but I'm not positive. I have to look. And then these numbers and what to wear was with this. I thought she looked pretty cool. I tipped in some pages. So let's see. This is some cool paper I had from a paper pad. This I need to clip, but it is from 1909 and it's a warranty deed. And it flips out like this so you can actually read it off. I am going to put a little clip on it right now so I don't forget, because this is kind of my flip through to make sure I got everything the way I want it before it goes to its new place. Oh, I just love making these, and I'm so lucky to do what I do. Cannot even tell you how much I like sharing all of these wonderful things I have and knowing that they're going to get used and enjoyed and not just put in someone's drawers, dresser drawers, file drawers. Well, that one doesn't want to work. Does it work this way better? I don't want to tear anything. All right. Nope. Okay. We'll do that later. Tomatoes, $9. And I can't remember, some of my bits and bobs have been following me home forever, like years since I was a teenager. And I've never had a way to use these. Um, so I don't know. Again, I am a lucky duck to be able to do this. This is some more of that genealogy paper. That is from a Sears catalog. I don't think this is old lace. If it is, it's vintage. It's not antique. And this is a French ledger. I thought these girls were fun. So I put them in. There's just odd paper everywhere. This is not a cigarette card, but it kind of looks like one because I cut it out of something. And this is watch lens, and the other side there was a spring for watches. And this is someone's homework. And this lady, she was ended up as a teacher. And these were her grades. And it is pinned in with a banker's pin. These are very old letters. This had this wonderful rusty clip on it. This is from man, my words today, I'm tired. An autograph book from the 1800s. A few pages there. I soaked this out of an old scrapbook. And it's just a little text spot. And I sewed it on there because it's kind of thick paper. I sewed it on with some of the sheep's yarn. That is I'm sorry, my brain. That is Oliver's wool. He's a funny white sheep with lots of big curls. This is dyed paper, and I think it is from Louise. These are some stock stickers. I'm not going to show you everything because we'll be here till tomorrow. And I just added this. And that is not a real picture, that's a cutout. And this is vintage, definitely vintage. Just pretty. That's how it landed here. See what I did there? This is a reproduction of a calendar. Yes, catalog page. I need to steal my roll. This is a printout of some of Harrison Fisher's ladies. I love him and all of his pretty ladies. So that's holding in some things. It's glued down on this side. Railroad papers. This is post office ledger. Plenty of room for writing or decorating. And this is from 1947 for shipping stuff. Another patty print. I love castles. This one was very fragile, so I did go ahead and glue this in here. This is a coffee and spice receipt. And I tied in the signature. I did sew it together, but I wanted, because it's so chunky and there's so much cool paper, if you snipped this, you could then move pages around because it's just the whole signature is just one and it's tied with this ribbon. So then you can slip it in and out. Or you can slip the whole signature out, wherever you think it's fine. There's another little snippet from the lawyer's papers. May 1925 from the railroad. Must have had this tucked in somewhere. That's French receipt. And it's from, oh man, I knew, but now I don't know. But all the stamps and everything is just an amazing piece. I'll set that off for now. Find where I had that. Again, these are different little snippets. This is more French paper. There's a Harrison Fisher from his book. Did I cut out warranty deed? If you ever find these, I call them pretend Victorian photo books. You see them everywhere. I came across a couple, and this time I took the pages apart and I made things I can use for tags or frames or tucked spots. So if you see them, don't just leave them behind. They have a good place here too. This is a French letter. On top of that French ledger, a Patty Princess, and she is on an envelope full of stuff, holding other stuff. This is a antique applique from Jody's mom's stash. And this is in here because I think it's pretty. Well, and this is a 1894 railroad receipt. I just love that. I would have worn that in those days. Actually, my friend Jenny and I have decided we're going to do chores wearing pretty dresses when she moves out here again, which will be this fall. He's coming home. This is Italian paper. I'm not sure what. Oh, geez. Hello. I put things in everywhere I can. I love the border collie on here. So it's a pretty journaling spot. Another one with some paper. This envelope has some very special things in here. This is German die cut, and they are beautiful. You've probably seen a lot of them, and these are antiques, and they came from my great aunt and uncle's file box. I had no idea they were in there. I've had that box here for years. So I'm going to do an unboxing of their box here in one of these videos. And then this is the back. And there we are again. Up there. Oh boy, that's a nice trick, right? I will retie that. Good thing I know where I have to put glue, right? There's 3 spots I saw. Then I made this one. Well, I've been working on these all since I knew I was going to sell with her. I was so nervous. So this is a little jewelry. Those are vintage beads and vintage clock hands. And then a chipboard clock. And I did a sewn binding. I just love doing this now. These are book spines from 2 different books. I backed them on marbled book paper because well, you can see there are pieces of them missing. Added a little bit of filigree there. And these don't have a lot of pages, but there is plenty of room for more pockets and things like that. So this is right paper. I love these. This is old bank from 1895 that I got from Angela. These are the check stubs from a bank ledger. This is French registry from the registry book for Belgian horses in France. This is from my little file cabinet that only, it's a flat file, so it doesn't hold a lot, but those are sure cute pages. A patty print, and then there will be stuff here and here before it goes anywhere. This is actual antique marbled paper from a front of a book. And I always save all these little scraps of paper, and I'm trying to use them again. This is a vintage music flashcard. I cut it in half. They're so long. I have a lot of them. If you're interested, you can let me know. This is from my ledger from London from a lawyer. And these are receipts from an old New York, gosh, I got quit saying general store. This is the Monday Music Club membership from 1930. So it is rustic, and I love it. I didn't want to sell it. I made another one, but I don't know what I did with it. So I know I put it away so that I would not forget what I'm doing. I want to make sure I remember. And then I always put, especially with these where there are, there's not a ton in this little journal, so I made a pack of for it. That is that. And here's another one. This might be a long video, but I think that's okay. So this is going to someone. This I actually made some jewelry for it. They're vintage and newer beads, clock parts, crystals from lamps, watch faces. And the fun thing is, it's actually a bookmark. So you can take it out and put it back in or write on that. This is a copy of one of my favorite poetry books. And of course, you know, a book this old, we have to have something quite right. This is vintage lace. And that's a pocket full of stuff. The lawyer's journal. Ledger. I mean, I popped this in here. It's cute. And it's kind of purple. This is dyed piano roll from Hazel, my friend Hazel and Naka. This is an actual real antique advertising card, but the back is messed up. When I soaked it out of the scrapbook, it didn't go so well. These are just some vintagey things. This is a watch spring. Plenty of room for writing and decorating. This little piece is hand drawn. It came out of that. I gotta stop saying I'm sorry, guys. It came out of the autograph book. These two are just cuties. Patty print. Very old prescription pads or prescription slips. And an old check. That is not vintage. It's out of a newer book, and it's beautiful. Libraries next to acquiring good friends. The best acquisition is that of good books. From Colton. What are we doing here? Oops. Okay. I was goofing with gift cards, or yeah, like birthday cards, and I think this was a birthday card. So I added the lady. I took this card apart and put it back together with little hinges. So the flowers stayed the same, but the message was covered up. Thought that was fun. Maybe take that out and write on it. I was into purple this day, Hazel. This is an empty envelope. An antique slash vintage, maybe, perfume label that I got from IKEA. These are book strings from book bindings, book guts. Here's some Fisher, and then this will be the packet of, I still have to finish putting the little packet of ephemera to go with it. Fini, I even remembered to sign that one. I actually have two more, so I hope you guys are up for a visit here. I have to go grab the other one. My efficient self, I've pretty much got them ready to ship. If you've been to the dollar store lately, you may have seen these cute little boxes. Are those cute little? So I made a little box for this little journal. It fits in just perfectly. That's what it looks like. It's like a little traveling suitcase. I did a bunch of decoupage. Graze Wine Establishment. This is from an 1834 newspaper. This is the journal, along with a whole lot of ephemera and postcards she bought from me, and just more of the newspaper around. And then this is the little journal. That was a digital, and I just love it. Here, I'm probably going to have dominoes on everything for a while until I get over myself. I named this one Beatrix. I don't know. I came across the little piece of paper and it fit. This is book guts. These are from Jody's mom and grandma. They are actually antique hand blown beads. They are beautiful. And I tied the binding on this journal. It was a Bible. And I really just liked how the cover looked. This little tag, I made my own little lace sampler cards. Got the tags from Nikia. This is handwritten music from the collection I have of a family that was a part of the Chickering family. Chickering pianos they invented and made. And this little book was from 1928. So I'm not going to show everything in it because you'll be here till next week. I love these ladies. They are a digital, and then I just added a little color here and there with my colored pencils. This is an advertisement or a trade card. Lots and lots of places to stash things. And she's not a witch. She's just wearing a really cool hat. And I put her on this little film piece. Another piece of handwritten music from the mid to late 1800s. And these are the backs of old cabinet cards. If you don't like the person's picture, turn them over and use them anyway, because they really are cutie pies. I'll put this all in there. I'll play with knots later. And all the ephemera for this little one is tucked underneath the journal. Excuse me, I take a drink here. Okay. This, I think, might be my favorite thing I've ever made. This is going to my friend Carol in Canada. Carol Leishman, if you're watching. I never know when you're going to be able to pick up your mail in New York. So I'm making this video, and if you're here, I hope you like this as much as me. This is a box that I've had here, and it came from a National Geographic set, and there were pamphlets and stuff inside. And then I don't accidentally put slides over the top of pictures, and when I saw them, I thought, well, those are really cool. She likes Halloween, but she likes neutral colors. These are vintage book corners I found somewhere. They're really heavy. Then there's a tag here. Something haunting in the light of the moon. You have to have a black cat, right? And you could put more things in there if you wanted to, Carol. And this is another tag that I slipped in the side. These are actual vintage State Fair Park in Wisconsin ballroom tickets. Here's the front side of the little drawer. Dun, 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 dun. And here's the journal she bought up. And that is all kinds of ephemera. I'm going to put that aside because she'll be mad at me. And this was a doctor's book. It was a little pocket planner where he wrote down all of his appointments, charges, who needed to pay, who paid, that kind of thing. And it was a pocket one. It was very worn. And his name was William O'Neill from Chicago, 1912-ish. And I decided that's his daughter Willa. So silly me. There's a key in the binding, an old watch face, some glass beads, and I did tie the binding again. This was coming apart, so I just did everything I could to save it and as much of it as possible. So there is a lot of stuff in here. This is one of the actual ledger pages from this little book. I have bits and bobs of it tucked in everywhere. All the interesting things. This is from an old vintage book for the printer. It's an ad. This is a printable. And then there's little articles about that she may have saved. This one is about after October 1st, the common drinking cup will not be permitted in Massachusetts. The parks, streets, schools, and outdoor drinking fountains will generally be provided by bubblers. To check the spread of communicable disease. And this, maybe she went out here for a visit, St. Luke's Hospital, Denver, Colorado. And this is, what did I do here? Oh, okay. This page is from a ledger I just got a few weeks ago from a doctor who, from the same time frame, 1917. And he did his rounds on horseback. And his ledger is amazing and fun. I don't know where I just put that clip, but oh well. This is just a bit of stationery I've tucked in, probably had it pinned in. Some more of those little receipts from the lawyer. And it's tucked in too. The bill head from 1885. Wood, Morrell and Company. This is an antique envelope, and this goes in it, but I'll do that all later. The little tuck spot. A cute baby, because you know, she would have had kids. Ad for a doctor's bag. I sewed flowers onto this old postcard. It is at least vintage, if not antique. Oh, and I glued it down. Milwaukee Hospital Alumni Association, 1933. The Nurses Association, even though she was a doctor, 1909. This has a bunch of different this this stuff just kept coming out of my things when I was there's some prescription pad stuff here too. Dear sir, I am sending you my permit to practice medicine with the fee for my registration. When my license arrives, we'll send that also. 1940. E.A. Ruka, M.D., Muscovy, Wisconsin. And this is another page from this little book. An operation of some sort for $50. and another operation, $3. So it's pretty interesting reading. And this is a card that I soaked not very successfully out of for cherry cough syrup. This is an English ambulance with upper and lower berth, 1901. Got that out of a book. Family doctor, appendectomy, $2, I think it says. A Harrison Fisher nurse. And then this would have had a pen in it, but I really don't want to tempt fate and put one in there. So this pocket was already on the back of this little book. So I filled it up with as many things from the little ledger itself, anything to do with medicine. So I know it was a very, very, very fun one to put together. And then to be able to make this for her too, I am just tickled with this. So Carol, if you're watching, I'm only doing this video so you can see it until your mail comes. And I think that's it for this video. I've kept you long enough. I am going to go out and maybe man the gates for Jim so that the sheep don't go capering around the neighborhood. I hope you're all having a good weekend, that you're getting a break from the crazy weather, that you're all safe and crafting. So let us know in the comments what you're up to, and I will see you soon. Thanks a lot, everyone.